everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Nash and today we are going to sit down. My lips are like concealed shut. Let me just wipe those off so I don't look so ghostly for ya. Today we are going to sit down and I am going to kind of go over how I apply eyeshadows with hooded eyes. So I have quite hooded eyes. They're not awful. Some people definitely have them worse than I do. But as you can see, as I'm looking at you, like there's a lot that just when I open my eyes, it's gone. Just disappears. So I'm going to show you guys how I apply shadows with hooded eyes so everything you can still see. Like when you apply your crease color, instead of putting it right in the crease, I'll show you how to kind of blend it up so you're kind of making a faux crease per se. If you're curious to see how I apply my eyeshadow with hooded eyes, then make sure you just keep on watching. For today's video, I just picked, you can pick any palette you have, it really doesn't matter what palette you use. This is just kind of like a how-to video, so really grab whatever palette, grab whatever shadows, grab whatever colors you want to use for this look today. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to go in with my Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. This is like my favorite palette, still found a palette that I like more than this as of yet. So I'm just going to go in with this. First thing you're always going to want to do is apply your eyeshadow primer or your concealer. I just applied concealer. So once that's on, you're just going to want to go ahead and set that. So I'm just going to go into Peach Meringue just up here. And I'm just going to set my entire lid so we avoid any creasing. And that's just going to set everything down and lock that concealer or your eyeshadow primer in place. And when I apply this, instead of like swiping it around, I really just like to like pat it into the eye so it doesn't disrupt any of the liquids underneath. What you're gonna wanna do first is grab a fluffy blending brush. My tip is from the first color to the last crease color, you're gonna wanna go down in brush size. So I'm gonna start off with this big fluffy brush today. I really like this brush for my very first transition crease shade. And you're gonna wanna grab your first color, just being a little bit darker than your natural skin tone. So for this, I'm just gonna go into Peaches and Cream, just in this bottom corner here. Just a couple shades darker than my natural skin tone. It's a peachy shade, but you can go in with like a brown or a gray that's just a couple shades darker. And then you're just gonna wanna start right in your crease, okay? So what you do to find your crease is you just put your brush where it kind of falls in the hollow of your eye is where you just kind of want to go, just windshield wiper motions back and forth, back and forth. So once I kind of have it down in my crease is when I kind of start swirling it upwards swirls. And then same thing over here, and I just bring it up above my crease, you guys. So especially in this area right here, I almost take that transition shade right to the brow, and then in kind of where my nose crease meets my eye crease as well, so right in there. And then back over here, and I am just bringing it up, blending, circular motions, windshield wiper motions, whichever you prefer. I kind of do both until you're left with something that looks like this. Obviously not necessarily the same color, but kind of in that shape. So as you can see here, my natural crease is right here, and I brought it up a little bit further so it's gonna actually peek through. When my eyes are open, you're still gonna see it. So compared to, let's just say I went in on my left side. I'm not gonna do a bad side, but I'll kind of just show you what I mean here quickly. Okay, so if you can see here, if you just apply the crease color directly to your crease with hooded eyes, instead of actually bringing it up, you can see the difference. This eye looks more lifted, and you can actually see the transition color, whereas this eye, you can't see it. When my eyes are open, you just hardly see it peeking through it all, and it already looks like a smaller eye, like it already looks smaller. Just bring it up slightly. Obviously make sure everything is still blended. You don't want to have the harsh line where the crease comes up. So next you're gonna wanna go in with a brush that's just a little bit smaller, still a big fluffy brush, but it's gonna be a little bit smaller than the one we just used. So as you can see here, this just has a little bit more fluff than this brush does. And like I said, as you continue on, you're gonna wanna go a little bit smaller and smaller and smaller. Next I'm gonna go into Fresh Picked right here in the bottom. And always make sure you're tapping your brush off, otherwise you're gonna end up getting a bunch of fallout on your lower eyes, and we don't want that. Now I'm gonna really focus it on my actual crease, you guys. So right into my real crease. I'm bringing it almost right in to the inner corner crease. And then once I have it down right in my crease, I'm going to just slowly, with a really, really, really light hand, like there's hardly any pressure on my brush. And I'm just gonna bring that up slightly. Not as high as we brought the other one, but still over the crease a little bit so you can still see the transition of the shade. I'm bringing this one more into that outer part of the lid as well. Okay, and swooping it up. Same thing with the other eye. Next brush you're gonna wanna grab is an even smaller blending brush. Okay, so we went from big, medium, and then smaller. You're gonna grab your next deeper shade that you wanna use, and you can just use like 2 shades and then go in with like a shimmery shade on your lid or something like that as well. But this is just gonna be, probably use 3 or 4 matte shades and then a shimmery shade maybe. So I'm gonna go in to this brown here. This is Peach Tart. Again, make sure you're tapping your brush off, especially with the darker shades. And this is where I'm gonna start with that outer corner right there and just kind of wiggle the brush around. Okay, so it's kind of just plopped there. And then slowly bring that in to the crease. And this kind of, we're actually focusing right on the crease. On the outer corner, I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit above the crease, just so you'll still be able to see it, because with hooded eyes, when you open your eyes, like your crease is gone, you can't see it. So you want to bring all the shades you're putting into your crease just a little bit higher, especially with these dark shades. Like I'm literally just bringing it right above my crease. And for this, I'm just circling while I'm going around, so little mini circles in a windshield wiper motion. Okay, so you're left with this. And you see how when I open my eye, it almost made like a faux crease, and you can still see all the colors and how they're blending. And then what I'm gonna do with that same Peach Tart brown shade is I'm just gonna slowly drag it onto my lid about halfway in. Same brush. And then I'm gonna grab that very first brush we used for that very first original transition shade, no extra product on it, and just kind of run over everything. And that's just gonna ensure that everything is really just blended together, and so there's no harsh lines. Lastly, for a really simple look, I'm not even gonna go into a shimmer, you guys. I'm gonna go into the shade Peach Butter. So it's just gonna be an all matte look shade, or an all matte eyeshadow look. And you're gonna wanna grab a brush that's just like a little packer brush. So this is like a really, really stiff brush, very flat, short, and just really stiff. I'm gonna dip into that Peach Butter, and I'm just gonna kind of dip in, rubbing the brush down, and just gonna kind of bring that onto my lid. Now the trick is when you're placing the shimmer, as you can see my crease ends there, right there, but I'm gonna actually bring whatever you're using, whether that's a lighter shimmer or a matte lighter color, I'm gonna actually bring it up a little bit more to kind of match where my faux crease would be, where we put those initial transition shades, where we faked the crease. I'm gonna kind of bring it up to there. And this is gonna be a really big thing, especially if you're going into a shimmer, because if you put the shimmer right onto your lid and then end it where your real crease ends, you're not gonna be able to see it, and it's gonna be pointless. So that's okay, you can leave it patchy for now. Okay, so it's kind of a patchy mess. Go in with that very last brush you used, that you went in with the brown shade or whatever shade you used. No extra product, and just blend those shades together. If you feel like you need a little bit more, I'm just gonna go in and deepen that up, just grabbing a little bit more of that Peach Tart shade and just deepen up where we put that brown previously. Could sometimes get lost with some of that blending we did. Going back into Peach Butter, just kind of back and forth until you have it exactly where you want it built up to be. So another thing, especially if you're going for like a natural look like this one, I actually wouldn't recommend putting anything, some mascara, but maybe not any actual shadow on the lower lashes, just because if it's a natural look and you're going for a natural look, as soon as you start bringing that down, it's going to drag your eyes down. With hooded eyes, it's going to drag them down, make them look even smaller. So what I do is I just go in with my lashes that I'm going to use that day. So for a natural look like this, as we're wanting to create today, I'm going to go into these. These are almost like 1/2 or 3/4 lashes. These are Cosmic lashes, Cosmic Beauty lashes in the style Venus. And I just applied my dual lash glue to them. I'm going to go in and I'm just going to curl my lashes and apply my mascara to my top lashes as well. And of course you don't have to go in with fake lashes. If you are a person that just likes your natural lashes, that's great. I wish I was. If I wasn't going in with falsies, like if I was just going in with mascara, I'd leave it like this. I put mascara on my top lashes and that's it. I would not bother putting any on my lower lashes because there's not enough drama on the top to even it out, if that makes sense, for somebody with hooded eyes. So this is how I'd leave it. I'd go and you see how my eyes just look lifted and awake. You can still see the color, but we're looking just awake and lifted. There's nothing dragging anything down. I would just leave it like this. If I was just going in with mascara, that would be it. I'd be out the door. Since I am going in with lashes, I'm going to show you this here right now though, before I go in. If I apply mascara to my bottom lashes with no falsies to lift everything back up, can you see now how my eyes look droopy compared to how they did before? They just look drooped down because there's not enough lifting that back up. Again, different story if you're going in with like an extreme smoky eye, like a black smoky eye, then yes, I would definitely bring it down to kind of like bring the look together. Otherwise it's gonna look strange. But for natural looks like this, it looks like I'm drooping. Fix that. If you want to put mascara on your lower lashes, just add a nice little pair of lashes. Nothing crazy, like these aren't crazy lashes. Like I said, they're just about 1/2 lashes. You just go ahead and plop those on. Ooh. You can see how lashes just kind of bring everything back up so your eyes don't look so droopy anymore. And somehow I managed to get a bunch of glue, but that will dry down clear, so we won't see that in a minute. And I just applied a little bit of the same highlighter that I used on my cheeks just into my inner corners just to make that pop a little bit, since we didn't go in with any shimmer or anything like that. And you guys, that's it. It's really easy. So if you're curious to see like a smoky eye version of the hooded eye, so I could do like a smoky eye and like actually bring it down and show you guys how to do that without making the eyes droop and so your shadows still show. Shimmers, all that kind of fun stuff. Cut crease, I've learned to do a little bit of a different way than most people would because I have hooded eyes. I can't just go into my crease because when I open up you lose the whole cut crease effect. So I could show you guys that if you're curious to see something like that. And you guys, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I do post a new video every Tuesday and Thursday on this channel, so you don't want to miss out on that. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and we will see you in my next video. Bye guys.